Good evening and welcome to Saturday's 6-1 News and Sport. Well, the tit-for-tat exchanges have continued between Fine Gael and Labour in the election campaign. Eamon Gilmore was accused of being presumptuous and disrespectful with the electorate by the Fine Gael leader Enda Kenny after he set down two preconditions to entering a coalition government.
Fine Gael's campaign today stressed plans to save €1 billion through stamping out welfare fraud. On the campaign trail in Mayo, the party leader kicked a touch when asked about the Labour leader's precondition.
I haven't heard Eamon Gilmore's comments and I'm not drawing red lines here. I'm saying that Fine Gael's focus for the next week is selling our plan. It's a 5-point plan. It's designed to get Ireland working.
And David joins me now in the studio. David, there are two new opinion polls. What do they say?
Well, it's quite interesting, Una. Two national opinion polls, both taken in the middle of last week, both showing Fine Gael on course to lead the next government, and both showing Labour support falling off quite a bit. To look at the Red C poll in the Sunday Business Post first, it was taken on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday of last week, 1,000 voters nationwide. And once the 16% undecided voters are excluded, we see a slight increase in support for Fianna Fáil, up 1 point to 16%. But Fine Gael remain in a commanding position. They're also up 1 point to 39%. A very disappointing result for Labour, though. The party is down 3 to 17%, only 1 point ahead of Fianna Fáil. The Greens drop 1 to 2, Sinn Féin gain 2 to 12, and Independents and others are unchanged on 14. A very strong performance this close to an election. Now, if we look at the trend in the Red C polls over the past 4 weeks, we can clearly see Fine Gael, the blue line there, on the up. The red line is Labour, which has been falling away. Fianna Fáil, the green line recovering a bit. Sinn Féin, the yellow line there, also recovering slightly. Now, if we look at the Millward Brown Lansdowne poll in the Sunday Independent, again 1,000 people polled on Wednesday and Thursday, and once the 14% undecided are excluded, we see Fianna Fáil up 4 to 16 since the last poll on Tuesday. Now, many people thought the 12% figure in the middle of last week looked a bit low, so that may just be a correction of that. Fine Gael down 1 to 37, Labour down 3 to 20. The Greens unchanged at 1, Sinn Féin up 2 to 12, and Independents and others down 2 to 14. Now, the poll also asked about satisfaction with the party leaders. Micheál Martin is the only leader to drop. He's down 5 to 38% since Tuesday. Enda Kenny gets a big boost, up 11 to 41. Eamon Gilmore is up 5 in the satisfaction ratings to 46. John Gormley doubles his satisfaction, up 13 to 26. And Gerry Adams is also up by 7 points to 33%. Now, another interesting statistic in both of these polls, for the first time, most people plumb for Enda Kenny as the best person to be Taoiseach after the election. Micheál Martin is in second place and Eamon Gilmore in third.
A rally at the centre of his hometown of Castlebar had the crowds out for Enda Kenny today as the Fine Gael leader crossed County Mayo on the homeward leg of his nationwide canvass, telling the party faithful this last week of the election campaign was the most important as far as he was concerned, and there could be no complacency ahead of election day on Friday.
It's about our people, about our country, about our future and about our children.
In nearby Westport, as the campaigning continued, a former Taoiseach, John Bruton, found himself back on the campaign trail.
I mean, I think he's run a terrifically disciplined campaign.
There has, of course, been some tough campaigning, but today was very much a homecoming.
Darling, how are you? I'm Grancown territory, but I'm a fan of yours.
Fine Gael know, though, as they enter the final week, there's much still to play for in this general election. Ray Kennedy, RTE News, Mayo.
Ray, if I can come to you first, certainly in the final week of this campaign, Fine Gael will be looking to build on its recent momentum.
They certainly will, Angus. There's no doubt, if one wants to believe the polls, they have been ahead, shall we say, during this campaign. But to use an old political cliche, and I'm only using it because it was quoted 4 separate times by Fine Gael people today at various speeches, a week is a long time in politics. It's certainly a long time in a general election. Anything can still happen. Anything can happen right up to the eve of polling. They're aware of that, and they're certainly being very cautious. They're reminding all of their people not to be complacent, not to think that this is a done deal, and to keep going out, knocking on doors and looking for votes, and having what they're describing as the final big push towards polling day. Make sure that there's no slip-ups, and the campaign that they've been running so far with a fairly even keel stays that way, because when you're out in front, of course, you're always afraid of the people behind catching you up.